throughout this soil profile. And so what that happens is that does not allow water or air to go down through the profile. Now, what happens when these green surfaces drain off to the side, it gets into the collars. So this is a great example of number 2 collar. This is Kentucky bluegrass in the collar, about 3 feet off the edge of the green. So let's pick this up. See, so we actually have some pretty good roots, down about 3 or 4 inches, but that also has to do with the time of year. This is about mid-December right now. The grass is almost dormant, but our roots are halfway deep because it's been fairly cool, obviously. But you can see that there's a layer of sand down there. Now what a mess that was. And look at this black layer. See, what happens there is this water goes down to here and cannot move. And that becomes an anaerobic layer and causes problems. Roots cannot go through that. And in the summer, then the roots, when it starts getting warmer, the roots can't go down. So what happens is they come up. This is where the water is. And that's where it leads to desiccation of the turf. As you can see, we have no turf here whatsoever. And that's because this area is just totally saturated. See, I can't even break this apart. Not because of roots, because of the type of soil that this is. Just a heavy, heavy clay soil. We let this dry out, we could hurt somebody or some of those horses out there by just throwing it at them. As you can see, that's about all the root we've got right there, and that's in an old aerification hole. You can see the layers. So that's what we're trying to avoid on the new construction. So back to this green, so we shake that there. Push-up green, that's about all the root we got. Now we're going to compare that to number 8 green. Now this is all bent grass, and like I say, this is December. This is also a dormant turf grass plant at the moment. But let's look at this. This green is 18 months old. Let's look at that. See those roots right there? So that's about 6 to 8 inches right now, and we probably broke off 3 to 4 pulling this out of the hole. The top, consistent, solid surface. So what happens, like I say, in the summer, when it gets warm, those roots are only going to be about here. The top desiccates out, we lose turf. The summer, that root, you won't get any desiccation up here. And then the green surface stays great all summer long. You do see a little bit of layering in these USGA greens right here, but that's because of our water. So everybody that I know has either water softener or reverse osmosis. If we had that, we wouldn't have this little layer. This is due to calcium magnesium. It goes down just a little ways, holds up in here. Now if we didn't have this great drainage underneath here, we would create a huge layer right in here, and then this whole top would lock up. But with this drainage down below, this is allowed to go through. So you keep pushing it through, and you can get that calcium magnesium out. And this is the best advantage for a USGA green. More consistent, great putting surface throughout the whole year compared to these push-up greens where middle of summer, you can come around, we get desiccation, bumpy, horrible turf conditions on our green surface. So that's the difference between a USGA green and a push-up green in your surrounds. Which your surrounds is why we decided to do number 8 a few years ago. We didn't have any grass in the back of it. This came from the right-hand side of number 2, and we have this kind of problem throughout the entire front of the old course.